Hello everyone, I am recording again. Today is, if I can remember, April 10th, 2017. I am going to show off my knitting and stuff, but I have a couple of announcements first. One, I've started a Ravelry group for this, whatever it is, I don't know. And we have a new moderator there, Carolyn's mom, who offered to moderate it today. So if you want, I'll put a link down below that you can join if you'd like. Second of all, big, huge announcements. Thanks to my wonderful, fantastic, amazing aunt, I now have a floor loom. It is not set up yet. I've been told it's going to be a couple of days before it gets set up because somebody doesn't want to hurt his back again carrying it. It'll probably be a couple of weeks before I'm able to actually show anything on it because, well, I've got to learn pretty much everything from putting it together to warping it to weaving on it, so it's going to be a while. And lastly, I am thinking it would be fun to do a knit-along with anyone who's interested. And I was thinking maybe a scrap knit-along. Basically knitting anything, knitting or crocheting or weaving anything you'd like using scraps. And starting in probably June, so I have time to really get the specifics down. If I do that, I have this lovely little skein here, if I can get color, of Gail's Art yarn in a merino yak and silk base, and it's kind of a purpley burgundy color. I am not pulling it out because I'm allergic to yak. So it's staying in this little bag. But I thought maybe we could do a random draw for prizes, and that would be the first one. Beyond that, I don't know. This really is the very early stages in planning. It's very warm today, so there's going to be a lot of eyeing and possibly some wiping away of sweat. Anyway, so for knitting, I'm going to start with the Gimli socks, which have been upgraded to a Slip Stitch Studio bag instead of their lovely plastic bag that they've been in for the year or so I've been knitting on them. But this past week I got completely finished with the leg and heel flap and turn on both socks. So I am ready to do the foot, which will have about half of this side pattern and this full center pattern all the way down the foot to the toe. So I'm still working on those, but I'm making progress. And I am trying not to drop stitches off of them as I put them back in my bag. They did not get as much work done on them as I had hoped this past week because we had to make a quick trip to Kansas City to pick up my loom. But because of that, a lot of other things got quite a bit of knitting on them. These did not get much at all. These are the April Shower socks in Doctor Who bag, which is hilariously fun. I got past the heel, and I've started the foot on these. But that's as far as I got, because these are not very conducive to, pulling around in a car when you've got, like, all this hanging down. It just does not happen. First thing that would happen is I'd tangle it up on everything, and first time I get out, they'd be all across the parking lot, and it just would not be fun. So those did not travel with me. All of that was done before Friday. The things that did travel with me, I put them in the, this is from C. Jane Sew on Etsy, and it is a Hufflepuff bag, because Hufflepuff is my house, basically. These are the 4 Founders socks that I talked about last week that I was going to start. I did start them. Before we left for Kansas City, I was up here on this little marker here in Hufflepuff, and all this was done in the car. On the way there and the way back. I got to the heel on the way there, and I did not want to do the heel in the car because it requires looking, and I cannot look at my knitting while we're in the car or truck technically, because I will get car sick. So, oops. Catching all the little bits. My handy dandy needle thing that I got from Knit Picks. Keeps me from dropping stitches. Not sturdy enough to handle a kid sitting on it. So, what else I did in the car was I started these. And this is some online something sport weight. Haha, tag. Online super sock Venus color. I have no idea if this is going to be backwards or upside down for y'all. I haven't figured that out yet. But there's the tag. And I did the ribbing in the house before we left because, again, with not looking at knitting while in the car. And all the rest of this was in the car, most of it on the way there. When I got to the heel of the other one and had to wait on it. That is also in a C. Jane Sew bag. Ooh, here's her tag. She's got a tag. Yay. This one is in Avengers. Because I love Avengers. And basically anything geeky. Because that's just how I am. So that got a lot done on it too. I also always carry with me this Slip Stitch Studio bag with one of these little things on it. It hooks to my purse, so it's always with me. I always have knitting. If I don't have knitting, well, I go a little crazy. And while going crazy with the knitting is one thing, going crazy without is not so good. So I got some work done on these. I was about here at the beginning of last week, and I got up to there. And this is some, I think it's opal yarn, but I don't have a tag for it, so I could be wrong. The solid is some leftover Knit Picks stroll that I have. That I used for cuff, heel, and toe for something else, but I'm not sure what. I'll need to dig through my sock drawer to find out. Because it's in there somewhere. So these are, it's a self-patterning yarn, so I'll probably do to the heel and then do a short row heel again on it. We'll see when I get to that point. If I'm out somewhere and I get to the point where I need to add a heel, but I'm like a couple hours from, you know, getting home or anything, I may just keep going and do an afterthought heel. It really just depends on where I'm at that point. So that travels with me everywhere. Oops. Stitch marker. Just random stitch marker sitting on the bed. Who knows where it came from. Everything's a little crazy around here right now. Blanket. I'm not going to pull the whole blanket out every video. I'll probably only do it once a month or so. But I have worked on it. I did 7 squares this past week. That's going to start slowing down a little bit because it's starting to get hot. And it's really hard to want to knit on a wool blanket sitting on your lap when it's 90 degrees outside. And that's just in June. By the time it hits August, we're in the hundreds, 110, and it's just too hot, y'all. That's one of the bad things about living in the South, is it does get very hot in the summer. So I have no idea how long I'll be able to keep that up with, but then it'll pick up again sometime around September or so when it starts to get, you know, more reasonable living temperatures. I did get a couple of things in, and these both came in today. So, yay! Well, 3. There's 3 skeins. I had 3 skeins of yarn in today. I show off. This color I have been dying for since the first time I saw it, and it is horrendously hard to get. Just because it's that awesome. Just a warning, you might want to get your sunglasses. I'll wait. Okay, I'm not waiting any longer than that. This is Madeline Tosh Sock in Edison Bulb, and yes, it really is that bright. It is, think of the color of a yellow highlighter intensified. This, I think, would glow in the dark. But it is fantastic, and I have been wanting it forever, and I finally have a skein, so I'm going to have feet that glow in the dark here pretty soon. I also got, for probably next month's sock for the Inside Number 23 Harry Potter knit-along, I got a skein of Nomadic Yarns Spark sock in Fred and George, named after the Weasley twins, who are like my favorite characters ever. They're hilarious, and I am so glad I am not their mom. So I'll either do this one or I'll do the Molly's Rainbow that I got a couple weeks ago for next month. I haven't decided yet. And because my husband is a super Cubs fan, and they actually managed to win something for once last year, also from Nomadic Yarns, I got the Go Cubs Go color for him. It is red and blue and white and Cubs colors, and he is probably going to want socks out of this, so it's a self-striping, so it'll make really, really fast socks, and it has a hair on it. Lovely. It'll probably make really quick socks for him, but I'm not planning on starting those for a while. We'll see if they're on a winning streak at the end of the year and then go from there. He's going to hate me for saying that. Okay, this is a little longer than last week. I found I can upload up to 15 minutes on from my iPad straight to YouTube without having to cut the video. So until I can figure out a way to make that longer, the videos will still be kind of rushed and short. I'm working on that. I haven't figured it out yet. I am not tech savvy. Talk to the husband about that. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll record again next week, and I'll see you then. Bye.